Trump's military could face a serious defensive gap if the US struggles to replenish missile interceptors after the Iran war. The Pentagon is racing to develop cheaper interceptors, but production timelines and testing delays could slow the effort. Trump is pushing a Patriot makeover as the Iran war exposes growing pressure on America's missile interceptor stocks. As Tehran highlights weaknesses in US missile defenses, Lockheed Martin's PAC-3 MSE and planned PAC-3 ACE upgrades are emerging as potential lower-cost options. Cheaper Patriot interceptors could help ease the pressure on US defenses, but the new PAC-3 ACE is still years away from its first flight. The Pentagon's mounting delays come as Washington also faces a deepening submarine crisis, adding to concerns over America's stretched military capacity. The US has moved to develop a cheaper Patriot interceptor as demand for missile defenses continues to rise worldwide. However, Lockheed Martin said the first flight of its new PAC-3 ACE interceptor is expected no earlier than 2028. The new interceptor is being developed as a lower-cost option for the widely used Patriot air defense system. Lockheed Martin said the PAC-3 ACE will use technology developed for the combat-tested PAC-3 MSE interceptor. The PAC-3 ACE is being developed as a lower-cost interceptor for the Patriot air defense system. The new missile is expected to deliver roughly two-thirds of the capabilities offered by the more advanced PAC-3 MSE. PAC-3 ACE is intended to counter cruise missiles and short to medium-range ballistic missile threats. Lockheed Martin's first flight target puts the PAC-3 ACE debut at no earlier than around February 2028. The new missile will be integrated into existing Patriot systems, allowing operators to use it against a range of incoming aerial threats. The announcement came as the US moved to expand interceptor production and replenish missile stockpiles depleted by rising demand. Lockheed Martin will build the PAC-3 ACE on a separate production line from the existing PAC-3 MSE interceptor. The company has also committed billions of dollars toward expanding its missile production capacity to meet growing demand. The production push followed a reported $59 billion US deal for PAC-3 missiles that was announced in late July. The order is expected to help raise PAC-3 MSE production to around 2,000 missiles a year by 2030, according to Lockheed Martin. The U.S. Navy's submarine crisis is deepening as the USS San Juan retires amid a growing gap between the number of submarines available and the force the Navy needs. The retirement comes as aging Los Angeles-class submarines are leaving the fleet faster than newer Virginia-class boats are arriving, according to reports. The Navy's submarine force has fallen below its planned strength as maintenance backlogs continue to keep a large number of boats unavailable. U.S. submarine strength shrinks. Navy target. The U.S. Navy aims to maintain a fleet of 66 attack submarines. Current fleet. The Navy currently has about 50 attack submarines in its fleet. 2030 to 31 projection. The fleet could fall to only around 45 to 47 attack submarines by 2030 to 31. Up to 37 to 40% of the submarine fleet could be unavailable at any given time for maintenance. Virginia-class deliveries have continued to lag behind the Navy's plans, extending the contraction in America's attack submarine fleet. Virginia-class delays. Planned. The Navy originally planned to receive 2 new Virginia-class submarines every year. Delivered since 2022, deliveries have averaged only about 1 to 1.3 Virginia-class submarines per year since 2022. 2-a-year target delayed to. The Navy's target of receiving 2 submarines annually has now been pushed back to 2032. Cost. Each Virginia-class submarine costs about $5 billion to build. The Columbia-class program is also consuming critical shipyard capacity that could otherwise be used to rebuild the Navy's shrinking attack submarine fleet. The undersea crisis also extends to the missile magazine as retiring Ohio-class SSGNs remove a major source of submarine-based strike capacity. Undersea strike gap. Ohio SSGN. An Ohio-class guided missile submarine can carry up to 154 Tomahawk cruise missiles. 4 SSGNs. All 4 remaining Ohio-class SSGNs are scheduled to retire by 2029. Virginia VPM. Virginia-class submarines fitted with the new VPM system are expected to carry about 40 Tomahawk missiles. First VPM boat. The first China's rapidly expanding submarine fleet is turning the US shipbuilding bottleneck into a growing Indo-Pacific deterrence challenge. China by mid-2030s. China's submarine fleet could reach around 70 to 80 boats by the middle of the 2030s. Growing nuclear submarine fleet. Beijing is continuing to expand and modernize its nuclear-powered submarine force. Expanding Indo-Pacific presence. China's growing submarine fleet could allow it to increase operations across the wider Indo-Pacific. Focus on sea denial and patrols. Chinese submarines are increasingly focused on sea denial missions and sustained maritime patrols. Russia's ongoing Yeltsin-class submarine modernization is also adding further pressure on an already shrinking US undersea force. A drone explosion near Bulgaria's gas pipeline has exposed a fresh gap in NATO's border security along its eastern edge. On August 8, a drone crossed into Bulgaria from Romanian territory and detonated near the Kardam border crossing at around 8:10 in the morning. The blast went off roughly 1 kilometer from Bulgaria's compressor station on the Trans-Balkan gas pipeline, and just 200 meters from Romania's own station. This same Trans-Balkan pipeline carries energy across borders all the way from Turkey through to Ukraine, making it a strategically sensitive target. Romanian radar systems reportedly picked up no aircraft crossing toward Bulgaria in the moments before the explosion occurred. Bulgarian detection systems also failed to pick up the drone at any point before it actually went off, raising fresh questions about surveillance gaps.
Dear compatriots, at 8:10 this morning, we had an incident involving a drone intrusion into Bulgarian airspace and the explosion of the drone 100 meters inside the Bulgarian border from the direction of Romania. This happened in close proximity to the Romanian compressor station, 200 meters from the site of the explosion, 200 meters from the former border checkpoint between Bulgaria and Romania at Kardam, 1,000 meters from our compressor station on the Trans-Balkan gas pipeline. The sound of this drone was registered by the border police in Romania, and then a loud explosion was heard by the General Târgu Border Police Patrol, which is in this area. The site of the drone explosion was identified immediately. Currently, there are units from the Border Police, the National Police, and the Ministry of Defense, who are currently establishing the type of the drone. The area is cordoned off. There are no injuries to people or damage to buildings and infrastructure. What we can say is that this unidentified drone was not detected in Romanian airspace, nor in our airspace. Accordingly, we will present information and raise the issue of the incident with this drone, which exploded on Bulgarian territory. I say again, 100 meters from the border with Romania. We cannot say yet. The type of the drone is being investigated. As soon as we find out, we will let you know, but it is not a toy drone. It is a larger drone. Again, according to data from the border officers who were in the area, a loud explosion was heard with black smoke. It fell in a sunflower field, and I hope we will find out the type soon.
Do you think this could be some kind of targeted attack? And was the drone carrying anything? Is there any such information?
We cannot answer at this stage, but one thing is for sure. The drone had a solid amount of explosives to be heard from a distance, and for this black smoke to rise.
Upgrade your news experience with the all-new HT app. Download now.